Having to defeat another party like my own wasn't what I was looking forward to in the arena matches. I was hoping for some deadly spirits, or at worst, fearsome creatures. But another group of kith trying their best here in the arena just doesn't sit right with me. It's at this point that I'm just catering to the gods then, eliminating other kith for their benefit. I don't work for or worship them. I decided to come back to my body from the in-between because it seemed a better fate than to stay in the in-between or to start a new life. I've gotten used to this one as Kelton Zatha. If there was no harm in returning, other than to agree and seek out and possibly put an end to Aethys, then I think it was worth returning for. I'm not a construct that takes commands from the gods. I have my own free will, and with it, now that I have learned what Aethys is about and what he is doing, I think I will help Aethys. Wouldn't that be ironic? Bareth brings me back to stop Aethys and to protect the status quo of the gods' domain here on Aeora, only for me to help Aethys destroy them all. Well, that's where I am right now. So as for killing each other in the arena, for the greater glory of Galawain, it does bother me. It bothers me very much, and I don't care to do it again. If I'm to help the people of Kazuwari, I really hope it won't come to any more arena matches like this last one. I want to destroy the gods, not add more blood to their worship and glory. We have Kazuwari to explore. First thing first, after we leave the Crucible, I would like to go up this abandoned encampment to the north, but we can't seem to get there from this side. Let's go to Pingaka Ravine. Thick, humid jungle gives way before us to empty air. A vast chasm divides us from further progress, descending to a churning white froth of water below. A bridge of wound rope crosses the gap, planks of dark wood supported between the strands. I'll examine the bridge. The thick rope has been well anchored, each line wrapped and tied tightly around one of a pair of heavy stones. The knots have long since crusted over solid. There's no untying them. The sun has bleached the wooden planks to a dull gray. Consider the quality of the wood. I think that goes to a dare. Success. The wood looks good for burning, but little else. It will not likely hold much weight. Let's examine the bridge again. Consider the construction of the planks. Which I should do that, actually. I garner no further insight from the bridge. Let's examine the bridge once more. Consider the construction of the bridge, which goes to me. The edges of the wood seem somewhat splintered rather than cleanly cut. It seemed no attempt was made to seal the planks. The rope seems of stronger make, but could stand to be reinforced. Let's reinforce the bridge with magic. Tekehu. Your more powerful spell, Lashing Vine. Tekehu rests a hand upon the damp loam. Moments later, vines sprout forth, wrapping around the rope and wood alike, and spreading across the bridge, until it looks a natural part of the jungle. Wow, that looks really neat. So, let's carefully cross the bridge. I step onto the reinforced bridge, and it bears our weight with reassuring stability. I begin the crossing. The ropes feel secure beneath my hands, and I move confidently along the structure. With the final step onto solid ground, I complete the crossing and find myself among the thick foliage of the central island. Well, that was a lot of drama just for a rickety wooden bridge, but however, it was quite the deep chasm. I did not want to fall into there. So since we're out here, it would seem that, other than the burial site to the south, that all three of these places are for each aspect of Toamowhai? Toamowhai. However they want to pronounce it. The forest thin into scattered glades along the western cliffs of Kazuwari. Trees stand sentinel, overlooking the sheer stone plunge into the Deadfire Sea. I turn north, only to enter a large open field, ringed and with woods and peppered with small clumps of dense forest. Clouds of insects hum over the rotting remnants of discarded carcasses. The path before me looks roughly disturbed. Investigate the scene. Again, this falls to Adair, our outdoorsman. Though it's difficult to discern from the chaotic wreck of dirt and grass, it seems like multiple sets of Kith tracks came from the direction we did and continued towards the coast to the northwest. Another set of tracks, these from some manner of clawed beast, come from inland and follow the same path as the Kith tracks. Let's examine the beast tracks. Adair? The tracks appear to have been left by a Stelgar, a very large Stelgar, so we know which path this one is. The tracks overlap the Kith tracks and are overlapped by them in turn. It seems the creature was stalking those who would stalk it. Examine the Kith tracks. 4 different sets of tracks appear, including a set that looks Orlan. The others are more difficult to narrow down to a specific type of Kith. The tracks seem pretty close together, as if those who left them were moving slowly and carefully. Let's follow the beast tracks. Oh. Well, the beast is following the Kith tracks, so I'm not sure why we would go back the direction they came from. Let's follow the Kith tracks. Obviously with the Adair leading. The Kith tracks bend around the field, largely following the tree line. I stop short as I come across a scene of carnage. Congealed blood pools on the ground and gore spatters the nearby trees. Flies cloud the air. Examine the carnage. I identify the remains of 2 Kith, one at Toamowhai, the other folk, probably. The pair have been rent by claws and chewed extensively, some of their limbs largely cleaned of bone. Though little save ruins remained of most of their equipment, I find a few salvageable goods, including a ruined token from the arena. Moderate healing. Copper pyre. Dagger, crossbow. Search for the presence of spirits. I open myself to the presence of wandering souls, but find none. This forest does, however, almost glow with the ambient essence. Investigate the Kith tracks, then. The receding tracks part in opposite directions. One pair cuts directly west, towards the edge of the island. These are evenly spaced and far apart. The length of the strides and directions the toes are pointed, suggesting the Kith was running. The other pair trails along to the north. The print suggests one leg dragged behind the other, and the ground is spattered with drops of blood. Adair points out a thin coating of silvery dust coating the nearby leaves. Somebody threw a spark cracker, probably as a distraction. Let's follow the wounded Kith's tracks to the north. The Kith trail lead north along a winding path through the forest. Every few feet, you'll find blood smeared across a leaf or pooled with a footprint. The steps grow increasingly close to one another as we follow them, and we find dried blood crusting some of the trees. Then, ahead of us, along the path, I make out a figure seated in the shade of a thick trunk tree. The dwarf isn't moving. Use the spyglass. Through the lenses of the spyglass, I can make out the faint rise and fall of the dwarf's chest. His beard is matted with blood, and he cradles one arm close to his chest. Search for the presence of other minds. Me, of course. I sense faint, incoherent thoughts swirling about the body, swaddled in a thick miasma of agony. Let's approach it. Make it to the tree and find a solidly built dwarf clinging to a small pack. One swollen eye half opens and gazes through us. The hunter's voice rasps through dry lips. I am Slayer of Champion. He coughs weakly. I examine his wounds. Blood, bone, and viscera are clearly visible within the rents in his armor and skin. I'm pretty sure his liver is sliding out of his belly. Ugh. The incredible thing is that he's held out as long as he has. Let's heal him. Shoti, that's definitely up to you. Do you have something really powerful? Hand of Wail and Woe. How about something a little bit less ferocious? Restoration. The magic washes over the hunter without much apparent effect. He's beyond magical healing. Ugh. Let's see. Maybe we should put him out of his misery. He's dying. I don't know. Set up a trap. I doubt I have time to set up anything as complicated as a pit trap, but I could set a mechanical trap or rig a simple snare. Set a bear claw trap. I'll do that. Success. Within minutes, the trap is laid and hidden. I don't want to hurt him to lure out the beast. That's pretty nasty. Putting him out of his misery is the only thing I can think of. Let's put him out of his misery, poor dwarf. With my single decisive blow, the man's little remaining life dribbles from his throat. His eyes glaze over, and his chest stills. Let's make noise to lure out the beast. I pick up a pair of sturdy sticks and repeatedly strike them together. The cracking of the wood echoes among the trees. Assuming my gambit worked, it shouldn't take long for the beast to arrive. Let's lie in wait. It doesn't keep us waiting. We hide among the greenery and wait the arrival of the beast. A small pack of Stalgar stalk into the clearing. Each lithe saber-toothed cat, shoulder height to an elf. Wow, they're big. The largest of the creatures is wounded, what looks like a shard of hot metal piercing it just behind the neck. The trap snaps shut on the lead Stalgar's leg. The creature howls in agony as its companions bolt into the undergrowth, leaving it behind. The captured Stalgar hisses and spits, claws breaking useless furrows into the ground. Let's approach it. The Stalgar hobbled by the trap glowers at my approach, and hissing and growling with paws. Attempt to calm it. The wild predator seems entirely disinterested in my soothing words and gestures. It hisses continued, unabated. Okay, well, we'll have to kill it then. Trapped as it is, the Stalgar's thick muscles and sharp claws do little to protect it from me. Soon it lies dead, its blood pooling on the forest floor. I approach the body cautiously, and when the animal shows no sign of life, I remove the shard of metal from its neck. It glows with soul energy. So I've gained the item, Cinder Shard. It's put into my stash. I turn and begin my journey back inland. I don't know if that's going to count as some kind of glorious battle, but we did, in a way, hunt it. As the bright glow approaches, the rhythm of a heartbeat, not mine, thumps in my head. The light coalesces into the muscular features of a hulking Toamowhai striding towards me.
Oh, God!
The spirit shrinks away from the glow with a terrified yelp. Mwatu?
Water!
The soul roars as if in challenge. He points a thick, gloved finger at me.
I wanted tougher, but you will suffice.
Who are you?
Who are you? I am the Slayer, the fastest and the strongest. That you had to ask speaks ill of your mind.
I don't care about your people or your history. Give me a break. What do you want?
Return your trophy to the old man. There is much left ahead of you to hunt, and far more to kill.
The lines of his face lose what definition they possessed, blurring into a featureless mass until the entirety of his form evaporates into thin air.
Well, wasn't he fun?
Any idea who that was?
He suggested he was the slaying face. Or at least the slayer.
Okay, so he's an aspect of Toamowhai.
Poor attitude aside, he knew of Ingari, and he knew what you're up to. You should be careful.
He seems to want us to kill someone or something.
Do you think this is why Gallowayne didn't want you here? Maybe the Slayer wants you to kill the gods!
Sounds good to me. Let's go.
I wonder if we'll run into more like him if we continue with these trials.
Well, I don't know. I do know I want out of this island as fast as I can, so we can help these people to leave. I don't see any reason to keep staying here. It's unnecessary. Other than what we have to get what we came here to accomplish. So, there's another one to the southwest. Across this bridge. It's more sturdy than the last one. No worries there. Alright, what is in this Kohatakana expanse? As it's written on my map. The deeper we travel into the island's southwestern wilds, the denser the jungle becomes. The air thickens, heavy with humidity, and the impenetrable canopy allows only the faintest light from the sky above. The path narrows into gloom before us, the persistent drone of insects subsiding into soft whispers on the edge of hearing. Center the forest. Tendrils of gray fog creep across the roots and vines, slowly rising, reaching as we push further into the island's expanse. The air grows opaque and quite quiet murmurs carry on in the faint breeze. The tendrils of gray fog creep across the roots and vines. Okay, well, we know that. Just as it reaches its thickest, the foggy morass parts like a curtain, revealing again the path before us. It forks to the left and the right, each path looking roughly as passable as the other. Let's inspect the paths. Adair? There is no hint of tracks here, neither animal, wilder, or kith, as if this trail has never before been traveled. Or not traveled in many years. Let's take the left trail. We follow the trail and quiet rustling sounds murmur from the obscurity of the undergrowth. The path forks again before us. Between two paths, I find a simple statue, a stone pedestal topped with the many-eyed face of the seeker. I figure this would be some kind of maze type thing. Examine the statue. The statue has clearly been standing at this fork for ages, the lines weathered, the details worn away by elements. Moss grows across the base, and vines hang down from the spider-like head. The seeker's eyes stare at me, unblinking. Yet everything about the sculpture, down to the draping foliage, seems impossibly symmetrical. Everything except one eye is missing from the statue's left side. Let's interpret the statue's meaning. I could try that, or maybe I'll give it to Aloth. The seeker is rendered with an eye missing, or perhaps the eye has been removed since. The statue defaced by some other contestant in the island's games. Didn't really tell us much. Aloth frowns at the plinth. It's the seeker, right? Am I supposed to be looking for something else? Well, maybe I'll have better luck at it. Let me take a look. Other than that, well, it looks like a spider, or an Toamowhai, or some kind of spider Toamowhai. Right, let's keep going left. As we press deeper into the jungle, the path narrows as if the trees were looming ever nearer, threatening. They seem almost displeased with me. The surreous whispers in the woods grow, sounding less like insects and more like the chittering of some unseen audience. Perhaps they're spiders. A rush of Yeah, it would appear so. A rush of shifting leaves above serves as the only warning we get before the massive, bulbous form of a giant spider ascends from the canopy. With impossible quickness, its legs wrap around Adair, before the beast ascends again into the shadowy recesses above. Adair's shouts go abruptly silent. Adair! Captain, that thing has a head start on us, Tikehu whirls around in breathless panic. The path broadens and splits before us, impossibly returning us to a very familiar fork. We lost Adair. Well, that's crazy. So, between the two paths, we find a simple statue, a stone pedestal topped with the many-eyed face of the seeker. Let's go right this time. As we press deeper into the jungle, the path narrows as if the trees were looming ever nearer, threatening. They seem almost displeased with me. Okay, so now Shoti's been grabbed. Okay, left trail. The jungle grows darker as we press ever more deeply into the heart. The path forks again before us, and while the split looks slightly similar to the last, I can tell it bears enough differences to suggest we're making progress. Now, I really hope my companions are not dead. Especially Shoti, who I love. And Dare is essential for us to continue. Without these two, we would be destroyed as a functioning group. Oh, that's how Adair is like my best friend, and Shoti's my lover. Between the two paths, we find a simple statue. Yes, many-eyed. Let's examine the statue. Is it the same thing? This one has a right eye missing. No, that would be its left eye. So, we still can't get anything about interpreting it. So, if its right eye is missing, its left eye is missing. I don't know, let's check the right trail. Okay, they're displeased with us, so it's obviously where the missing eye is. And he took Takehu. Oh, at least we don't have to listen to him for a while. I just hope that everybody's gonna be okay. Hey, examine the statue. So, its left eye is missing. We'll take the left trail. Looks like we're making progress. Okay, another statue. Examine the statue. Now, if both eyes are missing, then we're really messed up. The left eye. So let's take the left trail. We're making some progress. Examine the statue again. Left eye is missing. The one eye is missing in such a right side, but it's left eye. Okay, well we have to take the left trail. We continue into the growing gloom. To every side grow gargantuan trees, their upper branches disappearing into the darkness above, and the path winds among their bases, each as broad as a castle's turret. The path separates again, but this time there's no plinth and no bust of the Seeker. Instead we find a third path, central between the two others. While the paths to either side appear almost reflections of one another, the central path looks cramped and overgrown. It descends into a dark cave. Let's go into the center. We enter the cave, making our way through the winding darkness. For a time, I hear nothing save my own breathing. But then, the whisper of insects draw me forward, glowing gradually until it almost sets the air to humming. 12 hours have passed. The cave disgorges us into the jungle through the darkness, though the darkness is so deep we do not at first realize we've emerged. The chittering of mandibles and movement of heavy, many-jointed limbs echo above and around us. Oh, I shout, "Give me back my friends!" The jungle answers only in ceaseless chitters. Search for enemies. I see nothing to attack and nothing likely to attack us. Cautiously move forward. The path broadens before, abruptly terminating in a broad open clearing. For a moment, it seems as if the jungle itself is aglow, each tree limbed in faint green, but then I see the source of the illumination, a skull almost afire with soul energy. I get no chance to retrieve it, however, as spiders descend upon us from the darkness above. Hopefully we'll have enough people now, it's just the two of us, Aloth and me. Aloth has devastating powers, so I am not going to count this as a failure.
Yeah? Sure.
Get my swords. My swords are at the ready. Do I have any... I have no mouth char.
Tell me.
Enemies ahead.
Yes.
Kill the little ones first. Oh. There's a lot. A dare. Okay. Well, you want to keep the big one busy?
This thing isn't doing the job.
Yeah, it's, it'd be nice if Shodi turned up. Shodi, I'm gonna need your help.
Sure thing.
Walk around there.
Better than that.
That doesn't feel right.
Okay, we are killing little spiders.
There's a walloping! Lava!
Yes! Honor!
Got him. No good.
Tell me.
Indeed. Worth and rough.
Just like that.
Take him down. On your second try, I
What can I
said.
do you for?
Yeah, I swear that's you, Takehu. Stop doing that to me.
Beyond seek. Lava! Beyond
Oh, this
seek.
thing's kind of teleporting around.
Lava!
Interesting.
It's not huge, but it's fairly tough. Whoa, there's more to it. That's actually kind of annoying. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yeah. Crazy, crazy. Olaf. Yeah, Meteor's great. You just make sure it's not centered on us.
Lava! Beyond seek.
Oh, hell!
Enough of that.
Will do.
Spider parts. There's a dead,
Right.
dead kith here. What about this soul? A soul shimmers before us, her faint glow unreflected by the trees. Flowing gossamer silks sheath her form, and long black tendrils of hair crown her head.
Do you see her too?
Of course.
The Crucible still serves its purpose, bringing Gallowaynes devoted to battle, bringing battle to Gallowaynes devoted. But a wound, a tear, festers in the heart of this place.
Who are you?
I ask you to risk life and limb in the Crucible. But the desired outcome is not your death. The future of this place depends upon you seeking the champion's crown.
I get it, okay.
Souls that prowl this island writhe in disharmony. Without your help, the...
The image falls silent as the woman's form loses definition. In the span of a breath, the apparition dissipates entirely, her words unfinished.
Oh, where'd she go? Hello, spirit lady?
Any idea who that was?
Not a clue. Perhaps she was the Seeking Face.
That's what I thought.
Or perhaps some other poor soul trapped here on Kazuwari.
Do you sense the turmoil she spoke of?
Not really, but I don't feel trapped here. Exactly. Not like she does. I came willingly, after all. Died willingly, I mean.
I know.
And I've got you, right?
Yeah, you've got me. Let's go.
Perhaps if we complete the other trials, we'll find similar spirits. And hopefully they'll be a touch more cheerful.
Or can finish their sentences and answer questions. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.